The Galactic Council had been in session for 17 standard cycles, and Ambassador Elena Vasquez could feel her jaw muscles tightening with each passing hour. Around the crystalline amphitheater, representatives from 47 species deliberated over Proposal 2847-C, whether humans should be granted mining rights to 3 asteroid belts in the Kepler 442 system. The Zephyrians, with their gossamer wings and melodic voices, had spent 2 full cycles explaining why the asteroid's mineral composition might theoretically affect their seasonal migration patterns, despite the fact that their homeworld was 37 light-years away. The Kronak delegation, their chitinous shells clicking rhythmically, had consumed another 3 cycles debating the philosophical implications of resource extraction on cosmic harmony. Elena watched the chronometer on her wrist. Earth's colonies were running out of rare earth elements. The terraforming projects on New Geneva and Kepler 438b would collapse without those resources within the next 6 months. Children would die. Entire ecosystems carefully cultivated over decades would fail. The current speaker, a gelatinous being from the Helix Nebula whose name contained 17 syllables, was now discussing the aesthetic impact of asteroid mining on the cosmic tapestry. Elena had heard this exact argument 4 cycles ago from the vegan representatives. Furthermore, the translator rendered the being's electromagnetic pulses into standard galactic. We must consider the metaphysical weight of each particle removed from its natural orbital dance. Elena's stylus snapped in her grip. Around her, the human delegation shifted uneasily. Commander Reyes, the military attaché, placed a warning hand on her shoulder. But Elena was already standing, her chair scraping against the chamber floor with a sound that seemed to echo in the sudden silence. Esteemed colleagues, Elena's voice cut through the amphitheater like a plasma torch through titanium. I've listened to 17 cycles of deliberation about 3 chunks of rock and ice that none of you have any practical claim to or use for. The Zephyrian ambassador's wings fluttered in apparent distress. Ambassador Vasquez, the protocols clearly state. The protocols, Elena interrupted, her voice rising, state that we should reach consensus through reasoned debate. But what I've witnessed here isn't debate, it's performative philosophy while real beings suffer and die. She activated her holographic display, showing the colony ships, the failing life support systems, the children in the medical bays of New Geneva whose synthetic organs were breaking down without replacement parts that required rare earth elements. Every hour we waste here, 17 humans die. 17 beings with dreams, fears, families, and futures. They die because we need materials that sit unused in space while you debate the aesthetic implications of moving them. The Kronak delegation's shells clicked in agitation. The human displays typical species-centric thinking. Species-centric. Elena's laugh was sharp and bitter. When the hegemony war threatened your breeding grounds, humans died defending worlds we'd never even seen. When the plasma storms devastated the outer rim, our ships were first to respond. We've bled for this galaxy, and now you won't let us harvest empty rocks to save our own. The chamber erupted in overlapping translations, chirps, clicks, and harmonic resonances that the universal translators couldn't parse. But Elena wasn't finished. She reached into her diplomatic pouch and withdrew a small device, a quantum transmitter linked directly to Earth's High Command. I'm invoking Article 7 of the Terran Membership Compact, she announced. Immediate withdrawal from the Galactic Council pending fundamental restructuring of decision-making protocols. The vegan ambassador, a crystalline being whose form refracted light into prismatic patterns, resonated a tone of shock. Ambassador, surely you cannot mean. I mean exactly what I say. Elena's thumb hovered over the transmitter's activation key. Humanity has been patient. We've followed your protocols, respected your traditions, accommodated your lengthy deliberative processes. But patience without progress isn't virtue, it's complicity in preventable suffering. She pressed the key. Across the galaxy, human ships began withdrawing from joint patrols. Human scientists packed up their research stations. Human aid workers boarded transports bound for Earth's colonies. Within 72 standard hours, humanity had effectively seceded from galactic civilization. The Galactic Council sat in stunned silence for 6 cycles after Elena's departure, finally approving Proposal 2847-C by unanimous consent. But the mining rights were transmitted to empty space. The human embassy had gone dark, and no one knew where humanity had gone. They would learn, eventually, that patience has limits, and that some species, when pushed past those limits, don't just leave the table. They flip it over and build their own.